it dawned on me today that no is a complete sentence. It needs no explanation whatsoever.
Welcome to the Love Is Podcast with your host, that thorny chick, Karen KK Rose, and her co-host, the lovable a-hole, that's right, I said lovable, Mr. DK Walker, where they will be discussing love, relationships, family, life, sex, self-help, and what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur. Why? Because love is everything, and everything should be loved. Now to today's podcast.
Hello, everyone. It's your girl, that thorny chick, Karen KK Rose, alongside my co-host, the lovable asshole, DK Walker. DK, tell the people hello.
People. What's going on?
You sound like somebody's manager a second ago.
What you mean, people?
So you about to try to quiet them down so they can sit through this bullshit meeting that could have been an email.
I need your attention. Right? I need, it's only going to take 5 minutes out your time today. I need for y'all to look at the wall, this PowerPoint presentation. Some dumb shit like that.
Yeah, you know, the shit that could be an email. But now I got to sit here and pretend like I like you.
Oh, man.
PowerPoint is so informative. Like,
I mean, it could be. I think, yeah. Well, you know, what I do know is COVID, our dear friend COVID is showing a lot of things we thought was needed is no longer needed. I promise you the new wave is going to be, if we can make your ass stay home to work from home and save on office space and the whole nine, that's what we're going to do.
They're just saving on office supplies. They still got to pay the rent. They still got to pay the lights.
I mean, I think shit, like why would you need a doggone building if you can actually just have majority of your staff work from home? Like if you can still do what you do at home and still be productive, like I promise you, like people is really going to, like the smart people anyway, they're looking at this as like, how can we learn? How can we pivot? And, you know, I mean, make that adjustment and save money and still be productive. Like, you know, that's the smart people. So, people like you won't have to worry about boring ass PowerPoints and things of that nature. That's going the way of the dinosaur. I promise you that.
Listen, I didn't have to sit in a PowerPoint for a very long time, probably since orientation.
Well, once again, it's going to give you that on your computer while you home in your pajamas.
Right.
And your breath smelling like last night. So, anyway, what's going on with you? Say again?
I said I brush my teeth before I go to bed like a good child does.
Oh, yeah, like you still gonna wake up with a bang on your tongue. I'm just, you know.
Yeah.
We all do. Ain't nobody that special. Maybe Jesus Christ, you know. And I get to heaven, I'm gonna ask him.
About morning breath.
He didn't?
No.
It's a question. I wonder, did he have morning breath when he woke up?
Probably.
I don't know.
They probably didn't know that's what it was.
They'd be like, Jesus, I'm gonna take my blessing over here this morning until you handle it, okay?
Right.
Maybe not.
Say when you eat the mint, the frankincense, the myrrh, whatever that is, swish the water. Like touch the water, make it mouthwash.
Oh, God.
Say, we know you can turn water into wine, but can you turn it into mouthwash? And they don't even know what the hell it is.
Oh, we're talking about our Savior in this matter.
Listen, yes. Say he got to walk with me and talk to me along the narrow way. Well, sometimes the narrow way is just the thoughts in my head.
Yeah, I know that's right? But I know our Heavenly Father has a sense of humor. If you look at, you know, leadership of this country, you know, a joke in itself. So that is definitely God having a sense of humor, a dark sense of humor, but a sense of humor nonetheless.
Absolutely. So what's going on with me? No new beauty regimens. I've actually stayed out of the beauty shop. I need to go though. Immediately. My eyebrows are going back to Chewbacca. My grays are popping back out. And I definitely need to touch up on this pedicure. So, I mean, right now I'm in the safe zone. It's not going to be for too much longer.
Yeah.
Definitely not gonna be. You swung by and seen your girl?
No. I haven't done anything. Just working hard. That's about it. You know, nothing new going on. Dealing with my crazy ass family, co-workers, friends, and nothing new and major going on. That's about it.
That's about it. I mean, I think it's just like at the maintaining for all of us right now. Yeah, I can't think of anything new. Nothing. Yeah, no. No.
Okay.
Kids are
well,
fine.
Stop. You know, because like, right. Because y'all know I was not gonna let this. Like, we was just not gonna have a uneventful opening to the podcast. Like, what? what type of co-host would I be if I were allowed the podcast,
Co-host.
not to inquire about, what I mean, your how is your relationship going? Your DM relationship going?
My personal life is good. Co-host right now sounds like instigator in my head. Sounds like instigator. That giggle lets me know that it's real. It's real. I did go to breakfast. Like I said, I was.
Details, please. Hold, stop. We can be all day. I have nothing but time
and opportunity. Nothing but time and opportunity. Breakfast was cool. I went to one of my favorite. I suggested one of my favorite spots, so knew the menu really well. I did actually eat. I didn't do that whole I'm just gonna have a salad. No, it was early in the morning, so vampire hours. So for daylight to even see me, was interesting. What did I get? Waffles.
Stop. Okay. You know how much that I love you, right? How much but my love doesn't compare to the love that podcast listeners have for you. But I think you're doing us a great disservice of giving us all this fluff. Nobody cares about what you ate. Nobody cares about what time. We want to know the particulars of the actual date itself. Like, we know if it's breakfast, there's certain breakfast food, right? Who cares? We need to know the particulars.
I was trying to set the scenario. I was trying to live my life, but
right. I'm doing away with the foreplay. Let's get to it. Trim the fat, get to me, no matter. Why don't you?
It was cool. It was nice.
Look at you. You so sweet. Look, he may be listening, so I don't want to hurt his feelings.
Right.
You got to read between the lines, people. You got to read between the lines.
It was nice. No, the conversation was cool. I'm just raised a certain way, so I just have really high standards to certain things. So I'll just put this part out here. Like, if I'm with my dad, if I'm with my brothers, if I'm with typically any man in my life, I don't touch a door.
Okay.
So that's kind of an issue.
But did he know that he was expected to get the door for you at all times?
Yeah, because he knows my brothers. And he knows they're very particular of me. So the conversation was more like what you would call fluff and filter. I'm at the place in life where you got to be really particular with how you handle me, how you deal with me. And so if you're going to kind of be in my world, you got to be in my world. So I kind of expected like conversations about, I like the podcast or I listen to the podcast. And I'm not saying, a dude's got to listen to every episode, because every episode might not, stroke him the right way. Might not.
You're nice. I like to think that we stroke everybody the right way, but I digress.
Right. So, but given this guy, not every guy, but just given this guy, I can understand where it's probably a little too raw for him, because he's very wholesome. He don't drink, he don't smoke, I don't think he curses. So, it was kind of like, we kind of not gonna match you. We're not gonna match you.
You stop. You say he don't drink, he don't smoke. Is he a virgin? What the hell?
Right. Like, I'm like, do you know who you trying to go to breakfast with? Like, do you know who you trying to get with? Like, the podcast alone isn't even like all of me. I think it's just segments of me. And it just depends on how you catch me too. So, he's super wholesome and all that kind of stuff. So, I was just like, I don't want to be responsible for corrupting nobody. I really, really don't. Cause I drink. I occasionally go to the cigar bar. I have a hookah, things of that nature. My parents are Jamaican, so every now and then I might partake in some ganja if the mood hits me. We were kind of unequally yoked from the jump. I mean, he's a sweet guy. He really, really is. He just needs somebody who's super wholesome and not Karen KK Rose, the Thorny Chic. Like, I'm just not.
Right. So I don't know what your name is, homeboy. If you listen to the podcast, you've been gently let down. Like, I'm going to hear about this later off air, I promise you. Like, I'm going to get cursed out. It's all right. This is what I do for the listeners. I'll take the brunt of it so we can get the best entertainment this side of Kern's life. So, homeboy, if you was just gently let down, there will be no part two. There will be no more. You had lunch. There will not be brunch.
If we do, he has to. And this is the thing. Like, I had hyped myself.
Won't be dinner.
No, definitely won't be dinner.
It definitely won't be a late night snack.
No. No. And the thing is this, like, in my head, I kind of was like, knowing the type of guy he is, he's very like relationship driven. I kind of like had a speech like all in my head. So when we really didn't get into anything other than like me, my kids, church stuff, that it was all fluff. But again, like, to get me, you got to be a part of my world. So you kind of throw out there that you maybe read a blog. You might want to throw out there that you got the book. You ain't had to read the book, but at least you supported and spent the $10, on Amazon and got the book. Like, hey, like, can you sign my book? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for a girl who's a creative, like, you kind of got to get on creative level to get her. And I just didn't get that vibe. So.
Right. Oh, just better at support. Right. But let me ask you, were you expecting too much first date? Right. It was just brunch. It was just breakfast. So.
Right.
I'm being serious.
There had been a whole lot of conversation before that. So, I mean, honestly, to get to breakfast, it was a whole lot of conversation. So it didn't just like, hey, it wasn't like somebody just shot their shot like, hey, can I take you to breakfast? No, I've been rapping to you for a second. Like, can I take you to breakfast? And I was like, oh, because we were rapping for a hot second, like every day. And then it just died off, like maybe after 2 weeks or so. So I didn't think anything of it. He would send me something maybe on Facebook or tag me in something, and I would leave it at that. So then when he kind of was like, hey, can I take you out to dinner or something? I was like, or something. I really was. My response really was, or something.
Smart ass.
All day. My parents paid a lot of good college tuition for me not to be stupid.
Okay.
So yeah. There won't be a part 2. Strictly as friends, maybe. But
wow,
I cannot foresee.
So, like, if I'm living vicariously through you, this is how does this work? Like, you can't. You're not only living for you. I'm living through you. You know what I mean? So you gotta right. So we gonna need a little bit more next time out, because this is not for you, it's for me, right? If I'm living I don't need you to be selfish with your life. I don't.
Hold on to your seats. I have the one that I really, really like, the one that's really, really dope, the one that's really, really cool, makes his own alkaline water. That guy. We're linking up next weekend.
Look at you! Look, you guys. If we could see her, I promise you, because she light skinned, right? So I promise you, her high cheekbone ass got a little bit higher. Her dimples got a little bit deeper. You know what I mean? And you seen all 32 of her teeth, because I really like it. I really. Yeah. She said really about 50 times. I like. Okay, cool.
It's like you and Uber. You're like I'm uber excited or I'm uber happy. I say really like. So there you go.
I got you. Well, I'm glad, happy for you. Sorry about guy number 1. It's fine. He'll be all right. He can take his wholesome ass somewhere and go sin.
We'll get Chuck Lorre to, get him a new date.
Say again?
We'll get Chuck Lorre to get him a new date.
To say the least.
At the Love Connection.
We'll definitely see how.
We'll talk about the Love Connection, because yeah. This chick.
Right. All jokes aside, sometimes people just don't match. For whatever reason. And I'm glad that, you actually did him the common courtesy of going on and being cordial and just being honest, like, not trying to string him along for what you can get out of him. And then, so you did the right thing, but he'll be all right. He's a big boy. He's a wholesome guy. And I'm pretty sure he has, God on speed dial. So, he stayed the course. God will send him exactly what he needs.
Yeah. He definitely will. God will send him the right one, but it definitely is not KK. And I'm okay with that. And it was funny. It's funny you said that, because I said to my mom when I came home, she was like, first off, she was like, why are you up at this hour? Because again, I'm not up before 10 o'clock in a given day. And I told her, I was like, I went to breakfast with such and such. And she was like, how'd it go? So I was chopping it up with her. And so I told her, I said, in my head, I heard my godmother like, just go and be nice. Go be nice. Let him buy you breakfast, see where it is. And she said, and then what happened? I said, well, then I got there and what I saw and what happened, and when it didn't match in my head or what I thought was going to happen, then I heard my father that says, kindness don't pay shit. Kindness don't pay for shit. So I was like, oof. Bad decisions. That's not a bad decision.
In retrospect, you should have went.
I should have went to sleep, stay asleep.
Yeah, you live and you learn.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
Exactly.
All right.
You try to be nice.
Well, we still, right. We still got another guy in the cut. So with that being said, we'll see how that turns out. And as more as that unfolds, then, of course, I'll be messy and get all in your business about that there.
I bet. Because you've been enjoying it.
It's not even for me, right? Because people that listen to the podcast want to know what's going on with you. They genuinely care about your love life.
I don't think they do, but nobody's questioning me about the DMs. Nobody's jumping in the DMs. Thank God for the small favors. I do get a little more criticism about things that I post. Like, I'll post something and thinking it's funny, and somebody wants to get deep, and it's like, dude, like, not today, Satan, not today. Like, it's not that deep. Calm it down. Go rub your pressure point.
Well, some people, I don't know. I can't call it. I wish I could, but I can't. So it is what it is.
It is what it is. So nothing going on with you. You don't want to tell about your new office? You don't want to talk about that?
It's just an office. No, it's nothing exciting here. And I'm doing
nothing.
people a great disservice, right? No. Let me not be a total ass. Let me not live up to my namesake of the lovable asshole. Let me not do that. Yeah. So me and the missus were sharing an office. In all actuality, we were in the same space. I was in the corner and the rest of the space was hers. And so my oldest daughter finally, moved out. So once she moved out, I'm like, okay, well, I'll just take the basement and I'll turn a portion of that into some office space. Now I need me a new desk, so that's going to happen sooner rather than later because I'm vain and things have to look a certain way in my life, right? And so although you can't see it, although I will be posting pictures on the gram and Facebook to show you where I'm at. Like I got Muhammad Ali behind me. It's a picture of him. He's standing over Sonny Liston, I think in the rematch, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, definitely in the rematch. First time he quit on the stool, so he knocked him out. So that's on the rematch. And the reason I got Muhammad Ali behind me because, to me, he's a man's man, and he just the ultimate everything to me. Like this whole style. And it's not the fact that he's the greatest boxer of all time. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is he stood for something. And so when I walk into my office and I see that, it just reminds me, that's like level up. Stand for something, level up. Like if it's going to cost you something, it doesn't make a difference. This man wasted 3 to 4 years of prime of his career. You know what I mean? Because he said he wasn't going to fight for the war, and that says a lot. Like that was a lot of money he lost. A lot. He went through a lot behind his principles, and that's why I'm such a huge fan of his. It has nothing to do with what he was capable of doing in the ring. What it had to do with just him being a man of his principles. And I think just beautiful guy, beautiful guy. And of course, that's what I, love about him. What I like the flashy stuff, the smart mouth, the humor, the whole package. Like Ali was the shit. I promise you, that's my dude. I got a picture of my man Biggie against the wall. I have another podcast that's coming out. I keep saying this very, very soon. It is coming out very soon. It's called Listen Up, I Got a Story to Tell. Because I think Biggie is the greatest storyteller of all time. So I got him on one of my walls. Great storyteller, bottom line. As an author, people that reads or people that writes, the thing is they tell you that you to be a great author that you got to read a lot. And as I got older, that became untrue. You don't have to read a lot. That's bullshit, right? And the reason that is bullshit because everything is story. Everything is story. Everything is story. So once you start to have that mental space of knowing that everything is story, then you consume everything from a story's aspect. And I'm a hip hop head. Anybody knows me knows that there's certain, love hip hop. Like I'm not fond of today's rappers. I'm not going to knock their hustle, but I just prefer to understand what my rapper's saying, right? Today's rapper, I'm not knocking it. That's the younger generation. Young people who can mumble right along with the mumble rappers. They get exactly what they're saying. Do you, boo-boo. It's cool. Not a problem. Like, far as Biggie, he told the greatest stories of all. There's other people who can, more lyrical, more deeper, can tell a doggone rap, backwards to the front. They can do all that. But far as storytelling, man, ain't nobody touching dude. Nobody at all. Got a couple of quotes up on the wall, bookshelf with books on it, my books. Books of other clients as well. So, it's coming along. Once I get my desk in, I'm going to really feel like I'm doing a damn thing. But as it stands right now, I'm just so happy to have my own space and look around and see everything mine and, not to be shoved in the corner. Like the wayward husband my wife was making me feel to be.
And nobody puts baby in the corner.
I'm a grown ass man. I paid a mortgage, so fuck no.
Was out of Dirty Dancing. You go all the way to the left real quick.
Yeah, I'm just being honest. After a while, you just okay, man cave. I get that. And it's not so much the cave, it's just space. Mm-hmm. Because, anywhere upstairs or anyway, just people always going to gravitate to wherever you're at. And sometimes you just want to be left the fuck alone. I just need my space, right? And not only I need my space to work. When I walk into my space and I survive. I look around and it says me. It's just everything is just me. So I'm happy with it. It's a work in progress. I can't wait to get the whole thing done. Like on one of the wall, it's gonna be an accent wall. It's gonna be like a gray, not too dark, but dark enough. And I brought this doggone Kobe poster. It's gonna be this Kobe canvas picture that should be on its way, and it got all his quotes on it. God bless the rest of the day. Like Kobe, like just. Man, that hurt. Cause I've been a Laker fan since 79. Like when they drafted Magic Johnson, and I know I'm all over the place, bear with me, podcasters, listeners. I've been a Laker fan since ever, so I'm not a bandwagon. I didn't get on the bandwagon, when King James came aboard. No, I got on the bandwagon when Magic Johnson got drafted, right? So, but when Kobe had passed, it hit home a different way. And then he dropped, the whole Mamba mentality thing. And that's just striving for excellence. And then when you hear these dudes' stories, cause you hear all these NBA players with these great stories about, the type of cat Kobe was, the things he was obsessed. Okay, maybe I'm not in a position to be obsessed because he was young. It's easier to be obsessed when you're young because you got energy, right? As you get older, your energy it wanes here and there, and you have other responsibilities, right? So, but I'm trying to move me mentally to be obsessed with what I'm trying to do. Like it won't be all out assault on everything I'm trying to do, but one task at a time, I'm going to be obsessed. One task at a time, I'm definitely going to be obsessed. So that wall is going to be all his because he was just excellent, bar none. There's a video out. I'm going to find it and post it sooner or later somewhere, right? Of the comparison between him and Michael Jordan. Like anytime, it's the way they mashed up the video. Like Kobe would start a move and then Michael finish it, and it's just seamless. Or Michael start a move on the basketball court and then Kobe would finish it, and that's how much he mimicked, dude. And so people was like, why is he trying to be like Mike? And my thing is, if you have a blueprint to the best, why not emulate? Because nothing's new under the sun. So he went out like, I'm going to be like, I see what dude do. I see his drive. I just see his determination. I see what he did to get his 6 rings. Kobe only wound up with 5, you know what I mean? But long story short, because he was doing all the moves that Jordan was doing because he emulated the best. So like what happens is a lot of people try to do things on their own and they wonder why things fall short or their journey is so hard. Like you go find who's number one in your field and you just go do what they're doing at the same, as hard as they do it. And it makes it takes out all of the guesswork or whatever it is that you're trying to do. So long story longer, I guess my office space and partial man cave is just, paying homage to people I think that's great in their fields and in their respective fields.
That's what's up. Well, moving right along to my favorite and the listeners' favorite, because I've noticed like when we try to do like the, lighter stuff, they don't really particularly care for it. But if I'm really out there on some crazy shit, they eat that up. They call, text,
because they messy. Let's keep a spade a spade. They messy just like you. So.
Oh, is that what they are? I mean, they're your listeners too, sir. So
I love them, but like okay. So one thing, like if you're going to listen to this podcast, you cannot have thin skin. Like, we understand a couple things sell. We understand that sex sells and then people can be messy. It's cool. Like I like the messy shit too. It ain't shit.
Right, because I think you laugh harder about it than what I do.
It depends on what you're talking about, because like you find some stories like, pardon me, like where the hell did you find that at?
Right. And then they swear we're making it up, and then until I post it on Instagram, then they're like, wait, what? I'm like, oh yeah, there's a real link. You could go read the whole thing in its totality. Like I don't make this up. I mean, I know I'm good, but I ain't that good. Not for every day. Not for every podcast. Y'all got to give me a little more credit than that. So today's
what?
What the fuck news is erotic hypnosis.
You're getting sleepy as soon as you come.
See, this is why I should let you know. I almost need to like mute your whole mic and just do the what the fuck by myself and then let you come in, because this is what I'm talking about right here. So this is the tagline. I try to have a hands-free orgasm using YouTube videos. Okay, this is a real thing. So,
go ahead. I'm gonna be quiet. Hands-free.
Hands-free. So
I'm gonna dry hump a pillow.
Not hump a pillow, child. That ain't nobody in middle school doing crazy shit anymore.
Well, no, women still hump pillows, don't y'all? No.
What? Listen, we're not going down that rabbit trail. Hush your face.
I just asked a question as a woman. Like you don't gotta. Okay. Just cough if it's still true for you. No.
And my coughing phase of life is over. What you were hoping for is that my allergies would kick in and I would cough accidentally.
I promise you, I was hoping that you have a coughing fit.
I know you were looking for it. That's why I drank tea with the sea moss in it, just for that fact. Got him. Anyhow, so she says, I'm laying fully clothed on my bed, eyes closed. Hush your face, DK Walker. Do not say a word to me right now. Next to me, my phone is playing a YouTube video of hypnotic spirals, while through my headphones, a low masculine voice informs me that I'm about to have an orgasm. 10, 9, 8. You're getting so close now. Frankly, I'm not so sure. My hands were by my sides. My high-waisted jeans remain zipped up. 4, 3, 2. You're desperate to let go. Even with my eyes closed, I can't help but rolling them. 1, come now. Come harder than you ever have. I waited expectantly. And nothing. She said when she first heard about it, when I first heard about erotic hypnosis, I was totally up for giving it a go. After all, I do yoga, I do mindfulness. Why should not this work for me? She goes on to say that this is not to be confused with audio porn or ASMR, which ASMR is like when they whisper and they eat and they making all them smacking noises. Ugh, it's god awful. But anyhow, that's not my cup of tea. Sorry.
Judgmental a bit?
No, I've actually watched it. I just don't like people when they smack. Why they eating?
It depends on what they're eating and what they smacking on.
I mean, I don't particularly find it sexually erotic to watch or hear somebody eating chicken.
Okay.
Or crab legs or whatever else the hell they be eating. But the ultimate goal for her was to have a hands-free orgasm. Let's just say it didn't happen. That's the end all to be.
Oh, poor boo boo.
Now they did reach out to somebody else, and she said it worked for her.
Well, I guess you got to go in with an open mind. Like anything, you got to give new things a fighting chance. If you go in, with pessimistic thinking, then really whatever you're going, it's not going to work, right? You have to go in, like it's going to work. You have to give it whatever it is a fighting chance. And it sounded like she didn't, because first of all, she said she was laying there, fully clothed. At least do yourself a favor and just lay there naked. Like, you got to be in the mood. It's, like, I'm assuming, right? Because like great sex is all mental. Like it's great when a person's when you're having that physical touch, but if the mental is not already, at its height, as it's peaked out, it's kind of hard to really, get in the groove physically. So she's in there with jeans on, right? So it's like you kind of restricting yourself, like, take your jeans off, lay in bed and just be free. Let the air hit that thing.
Not let the air. And listen,
let the air tickle. Yeah.
And as hot as it's been, listen, everybody air all frozen.
Anyway, so
yeah, so she does go on to say that she did take off her clothes and she just rubbed one out. She said it just didn't work. So she tried it like a week later and then she's like, this shit ain't working. So she just rubbed one out. So there you have it. Erotic hypnosis.
Nothing beats manual labor. That's the bottom line.
Not manual labor, DK.
What would you call it then? Like if she rubbed one out, that means she manually got off, right? Manually.
Oh,
like you can't automate everything. Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, you got to take pleasure in like nobody should be a better lover to you than you. Nobody should be. And people think like that, like you got to really be in tune with you and your body. Like you can't expect somebody else to please you when you don't know your pleasure points. So you really need to, really know yourself. And I'm not knocking the whole hypnosis thing. Like I think, after a while, you try everything like floats your boat. As long as it makes you happy, as long as you're not putting anybody else at harm's way, like do whatever you going to do, right? You have to know what makes you happy. You have to know what makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up. You have to know what makes your doggone your toes curl and crack. You have to know all these things, right? But if you don't know these things, then you expect some guy or girl to come in and just like, wash pleasure all over you when they come up short. It's not their fault. So nah, man, manual labor, like, man, sometimes you should have scheduled a you day. Like, this is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to get rid of the husband. I'm going to get rid of the kids. I'm going to kick them out the house. I'm going to give a damn. They can walk around the block. Therefore, they're not, in danger of COVID-19. They can take the damn barking ass dog with them. I don't need him looking at me side eyes like, what the hell are you doing? And I'm going to really enjoy my body today. I'm going to enjoy my body so much and whatnot. I'm going to do it 3 times. And so when they come back in the house, I'm in bed, sleep, smiling. Because I had me a me day manually.
Say, and if Bob had to participate, lay right there on your husband's pillow.
There it is, right?
There it is.
So I guarantee you, like, yeah, you don't have to tell a man, like, what? Like, I'm going to hypnotic. No, I want to touch myself. I look forward to putting my hands on
all
me.
of a sudden, Prince start playing in my head.
You got it's someone to get off. I'm trying to.
No.
Yeah, exactly right. I apologize. That was my jam. You took it back. You took it back.
I mean, but that's more 22 positions in a one night stand. I mean, you know.
Ooh, wee! I forgot you was a Prince here. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
22 positions in a one night stand. I mean, I understand about the little box with the mirror and the tongue inside. I get where we were going with it.
Mean, Johnny, mean. So yeah, I'm not knocking the hustle though, right? Like, you know, like if it's cool, if you get into the whole hypnotic land there, and yeah, it's okay, cool. But you know, if that don't work, don't keep trying. Like, you still got 2 hands and you got a pillow.
Listen,
get to humping.
Listen. Us sexy motherfuckers got to get on to a different topic and not erotic hypnosis.
Okay, cool. All right. I do apologize because, you know, me, I go down them rabbit holes and refuse to come out. Like, I don't give a fuck how many carrots you throw behind me.
Right.
I ain't coming out.
Yes, Bugs. You coming back. You coming back today. So we are going to talk about... I don't even know why that felt good to me, but it did.
What felt good to you? The
cornball.
You right. It beats that whack ass drum roll you used to do. I used to hate that thing because like you were scared to commit to the like rolling your tongue, right? Like you got to commit to rolling your tongue if you're gonna do the drum roll, right? You just got to commit.
Okay. You know? As far as my tongue and rolling, nobody's complained other than you and my bow drum roll. So anywho,
yeah, commit.
Yeah, listen, I never had a
go all in.
Okay. This is going to be such an awkward segue. This is such an awkward segue because today we're talking about power of no.
I got you. No, I got you. You only got to segue the boy, right? So, like, we had a different way we were going with the podcast. We're going to go do sex and creative, right? But I hit Karen up earlier today. I'm like, no. Like, we're going to 69 that boy. Excuse me. We're not going to 69 it. We're going to
deep. Yeah, sure.
Hush your face. We're going to deep 6 that boy, and we're going to go with the power of no, right? So this is me. Like I had a day today. Like every day for me is not always, you know, lovable. Sometimes it's more asshole than lovable, right? But I came to a realization that, you know, we need to get in tune with a lot of things. But the main thing that we need to get in tune with is the word no. Okay, how you say it. Sometimes you can say no and be nice. You can say hell no, fuck no. Now that shit ain't happening. Get the fuck out of here. But we have to get in tune with no. And here's the reason why. Because if you do not tell people in your circle no, they won't respect and realize that you have boundaries. And you'll never get to where you want to go to in life if you're saying yes to what everybody else wants you to do. And then when it comes time for you to perform for yourself, it's time to go to bed, or you have no energy, or you're spent, right? Mm-hmm. And I get how mothers are, you know, the biggest sacrifices, like, you know, mothers and wives, because first of all, they have to be mom, pardon me. So I have to find out what's going on with the kids, make sure they're good, clean house, clothes washed, dinner cooked, the whole 9, right? And then they have to go ahead and, you know, see what's going on with their husband's old boyfriend, right? Pardon me once again. And so by the time, like, whatever it is that they want to do, they don't have no energy. Same thing with men. Like, you got to come home, you work hard, come home, you got to see what's going on with the wife, got to see what's going on with the kids, got to make sure the dog is straight. Like, but when you sit down, when do you have time for you? And so the thing is, if people in your life don't know that, you know, there's a you before them, then they're going to treat you as such, right? So, like, if you always saying yes to everybody, then, you know, you're going to be saying no to yourself, and it should be always the other way around. You have to start saying no to people if it doesn't line up to what you're currently trying to do. Like, if you have I have a thing, like somebody tell me to do something or ask me to do something, I'm like, that wasn't on my agenda today. And after a while, like, I would explain to them, like, why I couldn't. Like, and it dawned on me today that no is a complete sentence. It needs no explanation whatsoever fucking ever. Like, just no. What are we talking about? Like, why are you still asking me? I just answered the question. So no matter how you rephrase the question, the answer remains no, because it's not on my agenda today. Like, I had to set boundaries for myself so I can get things accomplished that I want to get done. Because if I don't, then I'm doing for everybody else. And then I'm leaving, you know, the source of my universe, which is me, because I'm the center of my universe. And if I'm not spinning happily, then I can't perform for everybody else. And people don't seem to get that. So I don't know who I'm talking to. I don't know who I'm helping, but I know I'm talking to somebody. I know somebody's at their wits' end. I know somebody's, you know, want to pull their hair out. I know somebody's just tired. And the reason that you're tired is because because you're so giving of yourself. Like the only person that you be giving to first and foremost is your own damn self before you give to anybody else.
Facts. It's funny though that you're saying that, because that no is a complete sentence. So there's this song by Meghan Trainor. She says, "My name is no, my number is no. Like, you need to let this go." Because it's a guy trying to talk to her. She's like, "Listen, bro, I don't want none of what you selling." And so
yeah, I get that.
When my kids would ask me stuff, I'm like, I'm gonna tell you in the words of Meghan Trainor, my name is no, the answer is no, bro. You need to let it go. Like, whatever you're gonna come over here in my office space, whatever you're gonna come in here and bother me with, I'm telling you right now. No, don't even start the sentence with KK, can I, Auntie, can I? No, don't need me, don't want me. And that in itself is validation for myself. I'm like, listen, I tell them, I'm like, listen, I'm going away for the weekend, or I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z for the weekend. Don't want me, don't need me. Don't text, don't write, don't call. I will send you an SOS if I need you.
Facts. I feel you on that on so many levels, right? Because if you think about it, if somebody called you right now and be like, Karen, I need you to do me a favor, and you just say yes, they're not going to say, why did you say yes? They're going to say, thank you. Oh, you're the best. I appreciate you. Because you said yes, right? You're helping them out of whatever it is that you're asking. But if somebody calls you and be like, I need a favor, and then you just say no, and they don't explain yourself, the next word out of their mouth is going to be why.
Right.
Then okay, so if I say yes, you don't need an explanation. But if I say no, you need an explanation. Either way, I answered your question. Like, both words, just one word, one syllable, but they're full sentences. No. Yes. Okay. Yes, I can do that for you, but no, right? So if I say no, I have that right. And so what happens is you get so many people in your doggone life that they come to expect you to say yes all the time. And people won't value your energy. They won't value your space. They won't value nothing to do with you if you're constantly giving, because they don't know your boundaries, because you didn't take time out to set none. But they have no problem telling you no. They have no problem acting like you getting on their nerves when you ask them something. And you gotta take inventory of that. Like, every time and it's a problem, or your face tight. Like, what? Really? So don't be like, and then don't get into a back and forth with, I do ABC for you, and you always give. No, just give them the same energy that they're giving you, but don't be spiteful. Just realize that they understand the power of no before you do. They understand that whatever that they're doing, and they're going to tell you no, or they're going to give you the vibe to be like, make it uneasy so you don't ask again. So do yourself a favor, position yourself like, you know what, I'm going to start taking care of me. When they ask, if it doesn't line up what I'm trying to do, then the answer is no. And then they're going to feel a certain way, because now it's a mirror.
Mm-hmm. And I think I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I think it's equally hard for somebody who is a people pleaser. Like, I have symptoms of being a people pleaser because I want everybody in my life, in my space, in my world to be happy. So I will say yes to everything they need. Well, I can't say everything, but I'll say yes to a majority of their things to make sure that they're okay. But then when I'm depleted, I'm empty, and I don't want to do it, then when I say no, it's an issue.
Right.
Like this weekend, I said to everybody, I said to you, I said to everybody, I need this weekend. I need to take some time off to myself, because I said, what people have yet to realize is that I can tell you that I'm literally was raised in a household where you can put on a happy face and make everybody feel like everything is okay, that you are perfectly okay. And I'm like, no, I said, this weekend, I really felt like I was holding on. Like, I could feel the thread that I was holding on to, like, really started to get, how you watch it in cartoons, you can see it getting thinner and thinner. I was like, before I snap, I got to take some time back. I don't need to talk to anybody. I don't, particularly wasn't on social media a whole bunch. Didn't really do anything for the 4th of July because I was like, scratch that. I just need some downtime. And so I think certain people did feel some kind of way about it, because everybody's like, oh, do you want to go do this? Hey, no, I want to be in my little place processing, all the things that I've seen because of the pandemic and all that, was just going on with me personally. I was like, I just got to process some stuff. And I was like, nope. And eventually everybody stopped asking. I was like, great. Because I didn't want to go anywhere anyway. I wanted to be in my space. I wanted to take a nap, be left alone. Me and Jesus needed a moment.
Facts on facts on facts on facts. And the beautiful thing about, taking that time out for you, getting into your space, it recharges you, because you're like, we got a podcast coming up before this one to talk about happiness. How about, a person is responsible for their own happiness. Mm-hmm. You're responsible for recharging your batteries. You're responsible for setting boundaries for yourself. You're responsible for saying no, because nobody's not going to take the time out and say, you know what, you do enough for me. You know what, you give so much. Nobody's not going to say that, because you do it so much. They look at you like you're Superman or Superwoman. So, because you since you never say no, they feel like you're the endless yes.
Right.
And so it's up to whomever listens to this podcast to draw a line in the sand and stop being the endless yes. Because what's going to happen, you're going to one day wake up and you're going to be filled with regret. because all the people that you said yes to, you know what I mean, you consistently say yes to, they don't really say yes to you when you ask. So you're going to start to look at them in a different light. And that's not their fault. That's your fault, because once again, you didn't set boundaries. It's up to you to set boundaries. Like my daughter, like I love her, but she's at that age, because like, you know, I'm trying to have a conversation and treat you because you're highly intelligent. I want to talk to you and speak to, you know, I guess the logical points of whatever's going on. But she has no problem of, this is what I want to do. And even though that you're my father, we'll get to it when I get to it. So I had to have a sit down with her and be like, look, I love you, but you know, you done lost your damn mind. Like, on my watch, you're going to do what I asked you to do immediately and not when you get ready. It don't work that way. It don't. Like I said, when I die, you can go ahead and be some garbage. But as long as I'm alive, I'm going to push you to be great. I had a situation earlier with my wife. You know, I'm using the bathroom. You know what I mean? I'm on my throne. And she's like, you need to come out. And so, okay, I come out the bathroom, whatever case may be. And you got run this whole honey-do list down. And I'm sitting there like, you guys, like, I'm, okay, first I was thinking it, you know, and I'm a father's child. As much as I run away from being, you know, Donald Kenneth, which is my father's name, DK. Sometimes I got to reach in my bag and pull them out and remind people, like, do not take the lovable part for granted. Because what happens is, like I said earlier, they don't know the boundaries. And so as I'm getting this whole long honey-do list, I'm thinking to myself, like, you know, if you listen to previous truck podcasts, you know that, you know, for a living, I run behind a trash truck. And anybody that's been living in America, they know that it's been 90 degrees at 8 o'clock in the morning time. So by the time I get home, I am bone tired. I am wet to the core. I just want to take a shower and just fall out. That's all I want to do. I don't want to be given a long laundry list of things to do, right? And so when I got that long laundry list of things to do, a part of me was like, if I don't draw a line in the sand, they're not going to recognize, you know, my limitations. Because I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to make it happen. So today was, you know, lost your motherfucking mind day. Like, nah, it's not happening. I'm not doing it. Don't care how you feel. Don't care how tight your face is. You going to be okay. I had a conversation. It wasn't the most nice conversation. It wasn't the most pleasant conversation. In retrospect, I could have found a better way to say, but what happens is that's more so on me than them, because I didn't take the time out to let them know, like, as much as I love y'all have to understand it's just one of me. And so when I do get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I do come home roughly about 2 o'clock, like, I'm spent. Give me a minute to get it together. And then if y'all can't figure it out before I get back home, y'all need to do a better job of figuring it out. But what you're not going to do is, you know, monopolize my time and try to make me feel less than when I know I'm doing all the things I'm supposed to be. Like, nah, you done lost your damn mind. And so I have no problem being transparent, you know, to the listener, because I'm pretty sure somebody is nodding their head right now like, yep, I go through the same shit. So I'm making a pact with myself and be like, you know what? If it does not fit with my agenda, I don't give a damn what's going on. If it's not something that I want to do, if it's not working for me, like, I'm not going to, like, the days of jumping through hoops, like, nah, them days is gone. Like, no. Because if not, like, people will have you in their circus as long as you're able to perform. I'm going to say that slower. I'm going to say it real slow. And somebody going to catch it real good. People will have you perform in their circus as long as you're able to perform. Your job is to be like, you know what? I don't like this circus. I'm scared of tigers. You know what I mean? I don't like clowns. So I'm going to go ahead and over here and do my own thing, because I'm tired of performing for you when you want me to get, like, it don't work that way. You got to really take onus of, like, man, look, I'm an author, right? At the end of the day, I love books, right? But you have to keep in mind, everybody that's alive is an author, and we have a pen, and every day we get to write, we get to write our life story. The things, what happens is we give that power away, we give that pen away, and people are like, okay, I'm gonna have you do this, and this, and you let them, like, so, like, the thing, stop, take your pen back, because you're the author of your life. Take your pen back and, like, okay, I will work with you as long as you're working with me, but you're not going to dictate to me. You know what I mean? You know, it's not, you know, you can take this dick, but you're not going to dictate. You lost your damn mind.
I think the other thing that, you know, in the process of talking about all this is, you know, we always kind of make comments like, oh, they need a yes man or they need a yes woman, especially in dating relationships, because you have, I'll just speak from the single woman perspective. You have a lot of men whose egos are fragile. I'm not saying all men, because y'all love to, you know, grind my gears about that one. So not all men, but there are a good majority of men whose egos are so fragile that if you start to say no or you redefine your boundaries, then it becomes an issue for them. Like, who the fuck she thinks she is? Why all of a sudden now you got to go to the gym? Why you got a podcast? Why you got to do this? Why you got to write? Why you got to do it? it's like, why are we going through all this? Like, if this is the place in life I'm in, wouldn't it be better for you just to get on board than to sit up here and buck against the yes or the no?
It's support. Like, that's a given, right? So if you don't got a person, damn, you touched on something good. Like, woo, yes, you touched on something great. If you don't got to support a person in your life and whatnot, like you really got to set hard boundaries. And they in their mind, what they're doing, they believe that there's support to a degree, but it's not the support that's really going to push the needle forward in your life. And I'm cool. I am so, and that's a great point. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Please forgive me. But I'm so self-sufficient in being my own cheerleader. I'm so self-sufficient in grab some pom-poms and spelling my name out. Like, I don't, not being a conceited dick, I don't need nobody to tell me I'm great. I don't, because I understand that if I keep going forward in the positive light, be consistent in my actions, I will reap the results of my consistent work. So I don't need you for that, right? Mm-hmm. But don't get in my way of doing that. If you're not going to cheer me on, then don't be a hindrance. That's the only thing I'm asking. So for the guys with the fragile egos that's wondering why you want to do better for yourself and they don't want to support, or at least sit there with their mouth fucking closed, then you need to go ahead and show them, like, okay, that thing over there with the knob in the lock, it's called a door. You can gladly see your way to fuck out my life. Gladly.
And I'll lock the door right behind you.
Right.
And I think though, the issue with the power of no, and even sometimes the power of yes, I mean, and that's a good book to read too, is The Power of Yes. But
who's that by the way?
I think Shonda Rhimes.
You said you think. Of course, I've listened to that book 6 times. I promise you. And I'm gonna keep it a book. I'm not necessarily a fan of her work on TV for whatever reason. Like, and it's not so much of the characterizations of, because she paints with a broad stroke of, she walks lines, she has all types, and that's not what I'm saying. I'm not, because I hate, because she got the formula down pat. And what I mean by that, so okay, let me say it again. I'm not a fan of her work. Like, I don't mind that she has gay characters. I don't mind that she has guys kissing. I don't mind that she has interracial, black and white people, right? I don't mind none of that. Yeah, that word you just said. Thank you so much. I don't mind none of that. My problem is that her formula is too good. She always ends her show to pull your heartstrings, and she make you feel a certain type of way. And you ain't gonna make me cry, or you ain't gonna make me want to hug my pillow and go to sleep. Like, nah, I don't, like, she's just that damn good. But that book, that, The Power of Yes, like, if we had to plug a book and it's not our own, I promise you, whomever is listening to the podcast, do yourself a favor, right? Get the audio book, because she narrates it. So get the audio book. Like, I would tell you to read it, but you can just walk around your house with your headphones on and listen to it. I promise you will not be disappointed. And it's going to give you such a huge perspective of the power of yes, which is the opposite of what this podcast of what we're saying. But that's a great book. Mm-hmm. Well written.
Very well. It's a very good book. But what I was going to say was, in The Power of Yes and The Power of No, we are so timid to use either one for the simple fact that we don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. We don't want that other person to feel some kind of way. But at the end of the day, when do you stop feeling some kind of way? Because when we're saying yes to everything and doing for everybody else, you realize that you said, like how you said, I come home from work, I done did this, I done did that, and now you bombard me with whatever. Did you ask me how my day was? Do you know whether or not I can stand up another 5 seconds? Do you know what I saw today? Do you know if I've eaten? Do you know it? Like, whoa. Before you give me all of you, can I at least just maybe unleash some of me? Can I decompress me for about 5 minutes, 15 minutes? Can I have a Coke and a smile? How about that?
Yeah. Or can I just rub one out? Anyway.
There you go. Whatever you need to do to get back.
Whatever I need to do.
Yeah, because the thing is that we're so scared to hurt somebody's feelings. But at the same sense, it's like when you finally get to the place where you know that you matter, not to anybody else, but to you, because that's typically the issue, is that when you don't set boundaries and you don't find the value of you, then you kind of let anything and everything go. And then the problem is, once you say, I'm done, this is it, this is the line in the sand, if you cross over, we duking it out. We gonna have an issue. You might want to stay on that side of the line. I'm just gonna give you the warning now.
Fact on top of facts on top of facts. Yeah, what you said was a buck and there's some change and whatnot. You really have to so I'm gonna talk to the opposite people. I'm talking to people that don't understand. They're not giving their significant others, they're not giving the people in their lives, the yes people, enough room. Put yourself in their position, and then don't look at it as where they always say yes. Put yourself in their position, whereas maybe I'm asking too much all the time. Maybe I should be like, you know what, let me give them a break And then by doing so, I guarantee you, for the most part, the people that you're constantly asking the yes of, they will recognize that you're not bombarding them with a lot of shit to do. And then they'll be more in tune to like, what can I do for you? How can I help you? Why? Because they got more energy. Why? Because they got more time. Why? Because they recognize that you're not, draining the fuck out of them. Like, you got to surround yourself with people that's going to pour into your cup, right? You got to really, so we read these memes online all the time. We see these things online. It's cliches, but it's true as fuck. You got to really have a great circle around, because life itself is so draining that if you don't have at least 3 to 4 people that's going to get you through or help get you through, I take that back. You can just have 1 or even 2. You don't even got to be deep with it. Like, if you don't, you will be so drained and wondering why you on the verge of a nervous breakdown. And men, like, okay, so for women, it's more apparent, but for men, it plays out in different ways. So we'll just snap. And then we'll go off on this tirade, or we'll start doing other things that has nothing to do with our character. And we wonder how in the fuck did we get here? The reason that we got here and whatnot, because we was playing Superman so long, but we forgot to be Clark Kent. Right? I got you, right? Like I didn't go over nobody here. I'm gonna help you out, right? So if you know anything about the whole Superman character, keep in mind something that really does go over people here is he has what's called the Fortress of Solitude. Now, I know we're talking about a fictional character, but I'm using him as a point. If the supposedly Superman, right, needs a place where he needs to be by himself, what do you think that the everyday guy needs? Think about that. Like, he goes, like, he can't be in all these places. Like, we at the Fortress of Solitude, people still die. Like, people, like, planes still go down. Like, stuff still happens. But he realizes I can't keep saving the world until I get my mental back together. I'm gonna come back. I can only be here for a hot sec, but that hot sec is gonna help me continue to be the Superman. So now I'm talking about the everyday dude, right? Or even the everyday female. If you don't take time out to create your Fortress of Solitude, how super can you be? You will never realize who you can truly be if you don't take the time out for yourself. Like, you treat people treat people that doesn't understand the boundaries of your life. Treat them like, you got to treat them like the life drainers that they are, and then you like stop them from sucking the life out of you. If you don't do that, if you self-preservation, if you're not a fan of self-preservation, I promise you're gonna die a long time before your body decays. You'll be a walking zombie and don't even know why. So do yourself a huge favor. Like, run to it, embrace it, make love to it, get a tattoo on your forehead, but please subscribe to the power of no.
Yeah, you definitely have to. I don't know what new age, leech therapy they have now, but if we find it, we definitely gonna pass it on to y'all, because I'm more self-preservation these days than leech. I
had to, I'm my bad for cutting you off, but I'm to the point now, I gotta really start tapping, because I'm a great parent. They're not perfect people, but they're great for me, right? And so a lot of time, my father was real rough. What I mean by that, he was just no nonsense dude, old school. Like, he don't talk a lot, but when he talk, he don't mince words. He's not like his son. Whereas I'm a lover of words. Like, man, he probably would, look at me now like, boy, you talk too much. Like, just because you get to the fucking point, he probably give me that look. Like, just say what you're gonna say, and you have less. And I'm in a point in my life where I'm starting to channel that. I'm just gonna say what I'm gonna say, and then how you feel is how you gonna feel. Mm-hmm. So the sun gonna come up tomorrow, but I'm not gonna carry the bad. I'm no longer going to carry the luggage of your feelings around when I'm not responsible for them anyway. Because you damn sure are not in the space to be like, let me be caring. No, if you're not caring about me and my day to day and what I'm going through, then it's time for me, not you, to draw a line. So yeah, I promise you, from this point forward, like, for me, I'm going to draw on my old man, since I didn't have the balls to do it myself. So I'm gonna draw on my old man, and whomever's listening to this, whomever that you need to draw on, that I promise you, so people have vision boards, people have goals, people have dreams, people have, all these things they want to do. I promise you won't get nowhere near any of these things if you're saying yes to the world and the people that's in them. I'm just, right now, I know I'm talking to somebody specifically. You will not be the best version of you if you're saying yes to everybody but yourself. And so, I know we usually do the nugget, like, let's make that the nugget of the day, right? Like, we can go ahead and have the niceties at the in, but since I'm on this vibe, let me go ahead and rock out to this vibe. You, whomever I'm talking to, will never be the best version of you because you were in the constant state of yes. Like you yes to your wife, you yes to your husband, you yes to the kids, you yes to the dog, you yes to the job, you yes to the commute, you yes to all these things in your way. You yes to, I gotta watch this TV show. You yes to, oh, the phone ring, I gotta pick it up. You yes to all the apps. You yes to Instagram. You yes to Facebook. You yes to LinkedIn. You yes to Twitter. You yes to TikTok. We all love TikTok. TikTok is funny as fuck, but you yes to that too. Like you yes to so much, like you don't even know how to say no. And so when your head finally hit the doggone pillow, you wonder why you comatose because you didn't yes yourself out. But you got all these things that you want to do in your office somewhere. Like I'm gonna be this, I'm gonna accomplish this, I'm gonna save up this much money, I'm gonna learn this new skill. Like why are you lying to yourself? You ain't gonna do none of that shit because you so busy being a yes man or yes person to the world. Mm-hmm. Like if you really want to reach you, man, look, do me a favor. You grab no by the balls, you squeeze. And people in your life, two things gonna happen. They're gonna respect your boundaries and then be like, okay, he'll be finished, and then we'll find a workaround for the things that we as a family or we as friends need to do, right? Or they're gonna get the fuck out your life. So either way, it benefits you. It's gonna be uncomfortable. And like my co-host has said earlier, that what happens is we're scared to say no because we hate that negative energy that follows with it. We treat no like it's a bad thing to say. We treat no like it's cancerous. Like no is actually like no is a beautiful thing. We just been conditioned as kids to be like no is negative. Like no is not negative. No is self-serving. No is the lifeline that you've been needing, but you're scared to pull it. So do yourself a huge favor. Take self-inventory of you, and then take inventory of the people in your life and see where they're adding and where they're taking away. And if they're constantly taking, then that's where you give them the no. You give them no without explanation. Cause just like yes, you don't gotta explain yourself when you give somebody the positive. You don't got to explain yourself when you give somebody a supposed negative, which is a no. No, it's I answered your question. We're good. And stand on that. You know what I mean? And stand on that. And then the uncomfortable energy that surrounds that, it shouldn't be uncomfortable for you as much as it is for them. And don't bend to it. It'll pass. And it'll get easier. The more you say no, it'll get easier to do. Right. So, and then what happens, you'll break people out the habit of just bothering you and then wasting your greatest resource, which is time. Right. You'll start to get your greatest resource back the more that you say no to shit that's not bearing on the reflections of the things that you want to do in life anyway. I promise you that. Power of no. Embrace it, love it, get that shit tattooed on your forehead if you got to. But make it your mantra. Make it a way of life. Say it, stick to it. Don't waver. Don't give a fuck how. Stay with it. No. How you doing? No. What? No. Hot no. I was gonna tell you hit the lottery. Oh, I'm sorry.
Right. So, listen, make it a part of your morning affirmations. But you can't say anything else to that. You really have to. And the thing is, just like you practice your morning affirmations, you really do have to practice saying no. And not having that, what do I want to say? Like that bristling feeling. You don't want to say no and then hold your breath. No, say no and have your backbone straight up. No. And let the chips fall where they may.
Facts.
Well, it's that time. You've pretty much done you said you're done. You're not going to do the daily Love Jones.
I just did that. I can keep going. I love no. I promise you, I'm treating no like my favorite porn star. I'm going to start treating no like Vanessa Del Rio. I love Vanessa Del Rio. No, I didn't say lust. I love.
Nobody needed to know that.
What they do? How? Okay. The reason that they didn't need to know this is for the simple fact, if I'm going to get in here and I'm going to have fun with you in your dating life, I need to be transparent too. So yes, I love no like Vanessa Del Rio.
That's true.
If y'all don't know who that is, you Google her.
She's on Twitter.
Stop playing. Really? I don't follow her. I don't stalk her. I am slipping.
She's on Twitter. Y'all can find her on Twitter with a couple other porn stars, but
okay. Quick. Okay. How would you know she's on Twitter?
Because you and I have had this conversation before. You made me mad. I'm going to tell you exactly how this went down. You made me mad one day about something either I posted on Twitter or I saw on Twitter where I was talking about it. You were like, why does this matter? I said, oh, but if I tell you Vanessa Del Rio's on Twitter, you're perfectly fine. And you were like, is she? And I'm like, yes. Because I purposely looked it up and sent it to you.
That's what's up.
I was like, yep. And I said, but if I tell you she's on Twitter, oh, it's perfectly fine. You were like, well, that's useful information I can use. I said, oh, I see how this works.
It is. Special shout out video, special shout out. You know what I mean? What? Is there a problem?
No.
I should think not. Watch your mouth.
Ain't nothing coming. Nope.
So, you want to get us out of here?
Of course. Party people. It's been a great hour. We love y'all. Y'all love us. I love it, love it, love it. You guys are so faithful to us week after week, Wednesday at 7 p.m. Y'all come and rock with us every week, downloading.
I'm sorry. Right. I'm a dick. Please forgive me. Throughout this whole podcast and the last podcast, some things that we forgot to do. I know that we said we're not necessarily giving our social media handles anymore, that they can find them in the show notes because it's so long with it. And yes, you can find, Facebook's, IG, whatever. You can find us, all those in the show notes. So do yourself a favor, go wherever you listen to, no matter where you listen to this at. All our pertinent information where to find us at can be found in the show notes. But a segment that we're still trying to get off the ground, we need your help with it. It's called Ask DK, right? But we will be giving you that information. We only be giving the text only number. So Karen, could you please do us the favors and tell people where they can text us at?
Oh, you want the text number too?
Just the text number.
Just the text number. Well, if you want to, just text DK Walker yourself. Get his attention. Ask him a few questions. Give him a little feedback about all his, loves, dislikes.
True. In line or in tune with, and I'm so sorry to cut you off. Please forgive me. Cuss me out later. Look, so in tune with this podcast. So if you're having a problem, all jokes aside, right? So because I understand how difficult it is to say no to the people in your life that you love, right? Because you love them and you want to be that person that's going to help them really get through. They go through. Pardon me. You don't have a way of telling them no, right? Text me, and I'm gonna walk you through it. I'm gonna answer the text and I'm gonna read that text, not your name or whatever, on the podcast. So do yourself that favor. I want to help you to reach your best self ever. And the only way you can do that is start telling people in your life that's not helping you along that way. And they're not mean-spirited per se. It's just that they expect you to be all things to them. And it's possible when you're barely enough to yourself. Right. And so you're having a hard time saying no to them. So I want you to take the time out, text me. You may be feeling drained. I'm probably talking to, somebody's mom right now. She got a couple of kids and the kids is just mommy. You tell their little monkey asses no to. You can be nice about it, right? But you can still tell them no. So Karen, if you, husbands, right? Tell them no, whatever, right? So Karen, if you can be so kind and give that number out, they can text me and I will definitely walk them through the process of regaining their most valuable asset, which is time. And by doing so, by, saying no.
No.
Funny ass.
I was going to see how long until you catch on. All right.
Not long at all.
To text DK is 202-715-1645. Again, 202-715-1645. And it is a text only number. If you call it, I think it goes straight to voicemail.
Yeah. Something to that effect. Anyway.
It's a very odd voice that answers it too, by the way.
Okay, cool. And no matter where you're what app or however you listen to the podcast, if you definitely listen to this on Apple, we need reviews. Reviews make the world go around. You can write that you loved us, hated us. You hate the sound of my voice. You think I'm a piece of whatever because I'm always encouraging business in her dating life. So we need a couple of things. We need you to get that text only number popping. I don't care what the question is about, whether it be whether it has to do with love, entrepreneurship, sex, whatever. Just text us and we're going to have some fun with that thing. But we need your help to get that popping. But reviews, if you listen to us on Apple, please, by all means, leave us a review. Make sure that, you can also follow podcasts is also on YouTube. So make sure that, like, subscribe, and comment as well on YouTube as well, people.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. So wherever you are, like, comment, share, subscribe, and please, 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 please review us. We thank you. Like I said, week after week, y'all come and rock with us for an hour plus, whatever we on, you on. You guys have been so faithful to us. You guys literally around the world are, listening to us everywhere. Well, maybe not everywhere just yet, but we're getting there. I'm speaking into existence. But y'all rock with us every week, week after week, Wednesday at 7 p.m. This is your host, the Thorny Chick, Karen KK Rose, alongside the Lovable Asshole, DK Walker. DK, tell the people bye-bye.
Yo, man. Appreciate you. Thank you. See y'all next week.
Peace.
So in love with you.
Not a segment that you are not going to sing us out on these.
Why can't I sing? Somebody said it. Okay, nobody said it like my voice.
No.
Anyway, people, we love y'all. We see you next week.
Bye.
Peace.
This episode of the Love Is podcast has ended. But please be sure to subscribe for more great content on sex, entrepreneurship, life, love, and how to get through the BS of it all. And don't forget to rate and leave a review so we can continue to bring more of that thorny chick, Karen KK Rose. and, dare I say, the lovable a-hole, Mr. DK Walker. See you on the next podcast.